In this video, I'm going to show you how we will capture an invoice and manage on various suppliers. So there are two ways in which we can create or capture an invoice. We can click on Accounts Purchases at the top, which will then bring up various other options. We can then click on Stock Receiving from Supplier, or we can even do it straight from our Stock Administrator, where we can click on, once we're in the Stock Programming form, we click on Purchase. When we click on that, it'll then open up our purchase form. Now, once we're in this purchase form, by default, it will be set to what's called a stock receiving. Stock receiving is when stock is coming from a supplier and it's going to update our stock. We can, under invoice type, I can select this, and there are various other options I can also select. What I can do is I can select a stock order, and a stock order allows me to create an order to send it off to the supplier requesting certain products. When those products arrive, I can then recall my stock order and then simply convert it to a stock receiving and make any necessary adjustments. So to do this, as an example, I'm going to enter in a supplier. Now I have created a supplier already. Under here there are two suppliers, but let's just create a new one and we'll call the supplier Turnkey. Let's put in the contact person, the cell number, the telephone number, and an email address. Once I've entered in their details, I can click on Save, which will then add it into the system. So the next time I create a stock order, instead of me typing in all the details, I can just simply click on Supplier. There it is. I can double click on it and it will then add it into my form again. My rep, I'm going to just put in who is doing the ordering, and then I can click on Product List, which will then bring up all my various products. I can then just simply double click on the items I want to order, and when I double click on it, you'll notice that it adds it into the form below. I'll just keep on double clicking on a few items. When I'm done, I'll click on Close. Before I do that, there are simple things. If I want to search for carrots, I can type in CAR, and it'll then also bring up everything that starts with the letter CAR. Now, when I'm back in my form, I'm going to leave it like this. I can put in the unit prices, but in this case, we don't know. I'm going to place an order for 10 of these, 20, 30, and 40. Let's keep it simple. Once I've done that, I can then click on Save. It's been saved. You want to clear the sheet? I'm going to select No. Because there's an email address in here, I can now click on Email, and it will now create an email for me with this form attached as a PDF. And there it is there. Now I can send it off to my supplier. I'm now going to just clear this form. When the stock arrives now, I will now go back into what we call our administrator. It'll set to a stock receiving. And what I can do is I can click on Reports at the top. I can put in the dates between when I think I ordered the product, and then I can click on List Stock Orders. There are two stock orders in here. I'm going to click on this first one, and I think it's this one, so I'm going to double click on it. I can look at the stock order and I can go, no, that's not the one I want. So I can go just under Reports. I don't have to recreate the report. There's a report result. I simply click on it and then select the next stock order. It'll put it back into the form for me, and I can see, yes, this is the stock order I want. Now what I can do is I can click on Invoice Type and convert this now to a stock receiving. And you'll notice everything still stays the same. All I need to do now is enter in the invoice number, or the GRV number that comes from the supplier. We'll just call it 12345. I can then make amendments on the quantities that have arrived, and I can put in the unit prices. So in this case, we'll say this is 5 Rand, that's 6, 7, and 8 Rand. Once I have done that, I can then click on Save. It's now saying that the database has been updated. You want to clear? I'll say yes. And it has also opened up this form, just confirming everything that has come in. I can see what the old cost was and the new cost, and it's just showing me any differences. It's confirming the purchases I've made, and it's confirming the total purchases that we have done to date on these items. Now what I can do is that because that stock order is already in the system, I can actually use that also as a template. So instead of me again recreating a whole stock order again, I can also then just click on, I can go back to reports, list the stock orders, there it is, and I want to use this one, and I can now just make my simple adjustments. I can then, because there's a purchase order in here already, I'm going to go to purchase order and just tell it it's a new stock order, and it's now ready to be saved as a new stock order. Let's just make adjustments here. We'll say I'm ordering 5, 10, 15, and 20. And let's save that. I'm going to clear the sheet now, and then we can email it off. I'm going to close this form. Right, now let's say that stock has arrived. I can go back to my reports. Again, put in the dates when I ordered the product, click on list stock orders. There it is. Let's double click on it, and now let's put it in. Now we'll change these unit prices, but if we want to do that, I'm going to click on invoice type, and I'm going to click on as stock receiving. I'm now going to make the price on this one 4 Rand. I'll make that 5 Rand, 6 Rand, and 7 Rand. And let's click on save. Before we do it, let's invoice number and save. The reason why the unit prices weren't in here, because this template was created without any unit prices, and I've recalled it, it's kept it at that template price. So what I can do is recall it as a stock receiving, and then convert that stock receiving into a stock order, and then those unit prices would be in here. It's another way of doing it. But now I'm going to save this. And now what it's picked up is just warning me and telling me that the new cost price for these items is lower than the current cost price, and it's just prompting me, do you want to use the low price? I can say yes, and it'll then convert the system down, or I can just say no, and it'll leave the cost price as it stands at the moment. Let's pick it up on another item. On each item, obviously the price has changed, so it's just prompting and warning me. I'm going to clear the sheet. I'm going to say yes, and again it's just confirming everything. Now you can see there are the difference in prices. So those were the old prices that we ordered, and these are the new cost prices. Okay. Let's close that, and let's exit out of here. I'm going to just refresh this form, and you'll notice that there are all the purchases that we have made on these particular products. Now what I can also do, I'm going to go out of here. Under my accounts and expenses, I can go to my supplier accounts. I can pick up the supplier who I've ordered from. I can see what my current balance is that I owe to the supplier. And then I can make a payment on that, which will then record the last payment, the date that I made the last payment on, and the amount that I made. So let's just take a simple payment. I'm going to pay 500 Rand on that account. Make the payment, and there you can see my current balance is now 650. That's the date I made it, and that's the last amount that I paid.